Good afternoon, graduates, family, friends, faculty, and distinguished guests. I'm Bob England.
Bob has technical problems, which I guess happens during a virtual graduation. But I'm Mark Rosenberg. I'm Vice Dean for Education and Academic Affairs. And until Bob rejoins us, I'll serve as your MC today. I'm particularly excited to be able to join you all today, even if via video, and as a result of these interesting times we live, as this year's graduates represent the first class that Bob has been with throughout his 4 years. It's been an honor to watch all of you develop into exceptional physicians, and we are all moved to be marking this milestone with you today. This ceremony honors the great achievements of our graduates and marks their beginning as a new generation of physicians to meet the needs of Minnesota and beyond. 4 or more years ago, they were admitted with the promise of outstanding academic and humanistic qualities. Today, we are proud to say that these students have fulfilled and exceeded our expectations. I hope, graduates, as this special day unfolds, you will take the opportunity to reflect on your time here. Reflect on the many patients who gave you the gift of participating in their care for their and your mutual benefit. On those peers, faculty, and other health professionals whose actions you want to emulate as you move into the next phase of your journey, and on the family and friends who are here and could not be here, but were part of the important support network that got you to this day. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the University of Minnesota Medical School, Dr. Jacob Toller, for some welcoming remarks.
Thank you very much. I am so proud of you. This is such a good day. First day of May. May Day, in some cultures and some societies, this is the time of rebirth and time of enormous optimism. So many hours of effort, so many hopes, so many dreams, so much resilience and perseverance that are represented here in the degrees that you will receive today. Did I say that I'm very proud of you? Very proud of you. So I'm going to do 2 things. One is I'm going to give you some advice, because that is expected. And the second, I will be brief, because that is not expected. So one, you will be defined more by what doesn't go easy, what is more difficult than what are the things that come natural to you. So this is a source of wisdom, source of self-awareness, source of self-recognition, and source of connectivity to each other, that the challenges will define you more than things that are easy. The second, remember that you have, as you learned 4 years ago, 2 hemispheres. They're all important, left and right. One is scientific, so to speak, and one is artistic. So look at things from the perspective of the sciences and humanities, both, because medical craft is unique in a way of service. It's unique in many different ways, but also in a way that your artistic, emotional, humanistic parts are as important, in my opinion, as all the molecular biology and surgery, that you may be interested in. So all these interpretations can be seen as one compound, noble whole that will help sustain you. Number 3, if you are a little bit like me and people that I admire, you will start almost any discovery with admission of your own ignorance, the frustration that something doesn't work, the ignorance of causes of some disease, the inability to handle in the hollow of your hand, COVID-19 epidemic, that frustration, that kind of ignorance is what distinguishes science, of which medicine is a part, from everything else. Because we actually do not know the answers. That's the whole point. That's the whole struggle. That's the whole collective effectiveness. And that's the whole agency that you and others have. That we are here to fill in the pieces for others that will come after us. And perhaps leave this place a little tidier, a little better than we have found it. Number 4, you will see with time, or you may have seen it already, that the part of your work that you will dedicate to service is going to be the most satisfying of all of it. The time that I spend with my physicians, as little as it makes, because I spend a lot of time with my physicians, the so few RVUs, so few dollars that trickle to the business of healthcare, that is probably the best thing I do. Because that discussion, that therapeutic, that treatment alliance that is, in my opinion, sacred between the physician and her patient and the family, is where you are probably the most noble and the most glorious. And like all of us, that's number 5 and the last one, you will learn from your students more than you know. I have certainly changed my life dramatically based on what I learned from my students, what I learned from my patients, and what I've learned from my colleagues. So your medical school is immensely proud of you. It's immensely proud of your accomplishments and wishes you the best of success, of happiness, of fulfillment. And I am sure that you will take excellent care of your patients and yourselves. And I hope that you will stay in touch. You are in a unique position. You hold the future now, and I'm eager to see what you will do with it. So thank you, and now I will turn over to the Regional Dean, Paula Termilan. Dr. Termilan. Dr. Termilan, you're on mute.
Not anymore. Greetings from our faculty, staff, and students in Duluth. We extend our sincere congratulations to all of you, whether you started your medical school career in Duluth or in the Twin Cities. We are so very proud of the resilience and skill that you have demonstrated in these challenging times. As you serve your patients, your communities, and our profession, always remember to take care of yourself and those around you. Be well and safe travels on this next part of your journey.
Thank you, Dean Toller and Dr. Termulen. I'd like to take just a moment to acknowledge the members of the administration and guests on the panel. As you already know, our distinguished participants include University of Minnesota Regent Richard Beeson, the Dean of the Medical School and the Dean of our regional campus in Duluth, who you have just heard from. Also on the panel are our associate assistant deans of the medical school, all of whom have contributed to your journey. Our distinguished alumnus of the class of 1970, Dr. Eugene Olilla, Dr. Scott Slattery from the Twin Cities campus, and Dr. Jen Pearson from the Duluth campus, who the students have chosen to be greeters today, and Cyril Apiyaja, 4th year class president. In addition, we would like to acknowledge a debt of gratitude for the contributions to this graduating class from all the faculty, faculty advisors, and alumni joining us today. All of our students have intellectual and humanistic gifts, and all have successfully navigated rigorous and intensive challenges of medical school. Some students have earned honors and awards by making special additional contributions during medical school. Among these are the students elected to the Alpha Omega Alpha AOA Medical Honor Society and students elected to the Gold Humanism Honor Society. The names of these students are listed in the program. All of our students have fulfilled the requirements for the Doctor of Medicine degree. A number of students have also completed dual degree programs. Their names, thesis titles, and advisors are listed in the program. The following students have completed a combined MD, Masters in Public Health program. Maria Bryan, Julia Mansager Komatsu, Kim Uwe. The following students have earned a combined MD, PhD degree during their medical education in our medical scientist training program. Ian Chong completed his PhD work in the neuroscience graduate program. Clifford Sismar completed his PhD in the medicinal chemistry graduate program. Melvin Donaldson completed his PhD work in the Division of Epidemiology and Community Health in the School of Public Health. Brian Suisse completed his PhD degree in the neuroscience graduate program. Mayank Verma completed his PhD work in the graduate program in integrated biology and physiology. Amrita Yelamili completed her PhD work in the integrative biology and physiology graduate program. Jennifer Zick completed her PhD work in the graduate program in neuroscience. Please join me in congratulating these dual degree recipients. Each year, we invite a graduate from the class 50 years ago to address our new graduates. So it's not too early for you 2020 graduates to begin thinking about your speech for the class of 2070. It is my pleasure today to introduce Dr. Eugene Olilla, a representative from the class of 1970, to address the class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenberg. It seems like just yesterday that I started, and I apologize for the background. I didn't know a few weeks ago that webcams were as hard to come by as toilet paper and hand sanitizer. So it hasn't come yet. And the same thing with my uniform. So I am putting on a different kind of headgear. So the class of 1970 would like to congratulate each of you on achieving a wonderful goal. You can now be called doctor. This is the culmination of years of study and work, and now allows you to become a person entrusted with the innermost thoughts and worries and fears of those that seek you out. Since the very first physicians and healers throughout history, including Galen and Hippocrates, physicians have been guided to healing others under a code of ethics, medical confidentiality, and to do no harm. I want to step back for a moment to my graduation 50 years ago. It was a hot, sticky day in June. Our class of 165 students was nearly all white, had only 8 women, and I think back how much talent was wasted. Like you, we faced a very divided country, in our case due to the Vietnam War. Students and other young people had become very active in opposing our involvement in a war that had uncertain and dangerous ramifications, angry cries to our president, and in the spring of 1970, several students were killed by National Guardsmen in Kent State, Ohio, Kent State University. We had a physician draft back then. Our returning troops were vilified. Many did not really enter a normal life. And you see that now living under bridges, and maybe several of you at the Veterans Administration Hospital as patients. You have been given the best tools ever developed to diagnose and treat various diseases, These were not even dreamt of at our graduation. During my junior year, an article was published describing a new closed chest resuscitation technique, CPR. An article was published describing a variety of other things, and now they're community education. My wife and I had to get a refresher course so we could fill in at my daughter's Montessori school. Echocardiograms came shortly thereafter, and to my untrained eye, looked like turbidity in a lake. MRI was not on the horizon for several years. The computer use in hospitals was 15 to 20 years later. We tried to learn heart murmurs on LP records. Coronary care units were being developed when I was a medical student. And I went to a rural hospital for an externship, and potassium was just coming into common use. And we found that people were passing out because their potassium was too low because of a brand new treatment, diuretics. When I first started practice at Northwestern Hospital in Minneapolis, now Abbott Northwestern, now part of a system called Allina, the cardiology department consisted of 2 physicians. It has now become the largest in the metro area. I can still remember when we hired our first intensivist to take care of people in the ICU because we couldn't be at the office and in the ICU at the same time. And then we hired our first hospitalist to take care of complex patients who had no primary care physician at Abbott. Within the past few years, I had reason to be hospitalized twice, after a blackout spell and later a bicycle accident. And the exams I had were very different from what we had been taught. An echo, x-rays, and a CT were done immediately, and the only person to really do more than a cursory exam was the medical student. As medicine has become more technical and procedure-based, going back to the right and left brain, we now recognize that our emotional life has to be treated as well. Mindfulness, spirituality, and connections to other humans is just as important as to our well-being. This is being tested in our current COVID-19 pandemic, where many people feel hopeless, depressed, and unable to clarify their life goals. One book I could recommend, and it's a pretty quick read, is The Plague, written by Albert Camus. It covers a city in Algeria during a plague epidemic in 1947 after all the gates are closed, allowing no one to come in or leave in over many months. I think you could identify with the current dilemma we face after reading this book, as the person describing the situation is a physician. One of your duties, since time immemorial for physicians, is to help maintain health, however that is defined. You will be facing many heart-wrenching situations where there is not always a clear or even a right answer. Sleep affected by wondering if you did the right thing and knowing when to say, I'm sorry, for something that may not have worked out. These are all part of being a physician. It is a wonderfully rewarding career and is really a service rather than a job. Thank you from the class of 1970, and good luck to you in the next 50 years.
Thank you, Dr. Alila. And now it's an honor for me to introduce our speaker invited by the class of 2020 to address them today. Dr. Scott Gottlieb served as the 23rd Commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration from 2017 to 2019. Dr. Gottlieb's work focuses on advancing public health through developing and implementing innovative approaches to improving medical outcomes, reshaping healthcare delivery, and expanding consumer choice safety. In 2018, he was named by Time magazine as one of their 50 people transforming healthcare. We are so grateful to Dr. Gottlieb for his willingness to record his remarks so that we can all enjoy them today.
I want to start by congratulating all of you, and especially your families who helped you arrive at this day. Today is very special. There are a small number of days that I remember very vividly, and the day that I graduated medical school 20 years ago Well, that's a day that I remember very clearly. Medicine's a special career. It's an opportunity for lifelong service. It's an opportunity for daily satisfaction from the contributions that you'll all make, big and small. When I was running the FDA, I used to tell my colleagues that we needed to focus on solving problems for everyone, not just adjudicating individual problems. Now, don't get me wrong, we did a lot of both, but we knew that we couldn't let the individual needs overwhelm our ability to solve problems for the wider population. Yet I'll tell you some of the individual needs that we helped solve, and there were many, and the ones where I played a role, well, those were some of the most memorable things that I did. Because the impact on someone's opportunity for a better life was so tangible. If we were able to help a child or a cancer patient navigate the pathway for getting expanded access to a potentially life-altering but still experimental medicine, there were times that the results could be dramatic and the impression was very real. In the course of your practice, you'll have countless moments to have that kind of direct and tangible impact on people's lives. And that's what makes this profession so special. That special role, that ability to impact each individual patient, but also have a broader impact on society and public health, is shown and tested now more than ever as we battle COVID. These are hard times for all of us, but they have been especially hard on providers. We're being called on to do extraordinary things and take very unique risks. Everyone is looking to us to help reduce suffering, but also deliver a broader solution to a historic crisis. The COVID pandemic will quite literally change the course of world history. The stakes are really that high, and the decisions we all make and the work we do will affect the outcome. Whether we can reduce death and disease and help save lives while we inch closer to an effective set of treatments for COVID and eventually a vaccine is going to be a critical test and a critical question, because this isn't over. We face a persistent infection and large outbreaks probably this fall. The risks are especially high as COVID collides with the upcoming flu season. And so you're all entering medicine at a historic time, an inflection point, and what you'll do and what you'll be a part of will help shape that outcome. Many of you will be called on to help solve problems on a wider scale for a broad population. For some, this will be one of those moments. Medical practice marks an entry into an area of very specialized knowledge that's relevant across many fields, especially when it comes to policymaking. We face many pressing policy issues, and I know some of you will go on to weigh in on these challenges like I did. Even if you don't take direct roles in shaping public policy, you'll be faced with contemplating how policy impacts the practice of medicine. You'll find your medical training will give you the chance to have a very important and unique perspective. I want to share with you my perspective on doing that policy work. A few things were very important to me, not only in helping me crystallize my thinking about how to address these challenges, but also in enabling me to find myself in positions inside agencies where I could directly impact healthcare and healthcare policy issues. One was, don't be afraid to have a position and state it very clearly. That clarity can be very helpful in a policy debate. It'll define you in a way that can help shape policy, but have more influence towards advancing good outcomes. My first job in Washington was a year after I finished residency. I worked as a senior advisor to the then newly minted FDA commissioner, who had just been confirmed into the role. I'd been writing a lot about FDA-related issues, and I was also working for a think tank in Washington after finishing residency, in addition to practicing medicine as a hospitalist. There are a lot of things that were important lessons that I learned along the way, but a few stand out and have defined how I've tried to work through hard policy issues. One touchstone I've tried to maintain is to forge respect in policy debates. There's a lot I can say here, but there is one thing that I think matters above all else. And simply put, it's important not to criticize people directly. It's fine to critique ideas and criticize policy proposals. That's all fair game in a debate. But you have to come at it with the belief that everyone comes to these things with similar motives. Everyone wants to try and advance public health goals and improve the system for patients and consumers. It can be hard at times, given how deeply divided these discussions can become and how shrill the criticism can sometimes be. But most people who spend a lot of time working on health policy didn't come to it because they want to make the system worse or harm patient care, no matter how much you sometimes might disagree with their point of view. The minute that assumption of good intent breaks down, that's when the opportunity for thoughtful debate starts to dissipate. Another lesson I learned is you need to have humility about the limits of what you can do through health policy. We learned this the very hard way through the epidemic of opioid abuse and the addiction to nicotine among youth and vaping. Despite our best efforts, at some key moments we found ourselves tragically behind when it came to more forcefully addressing these burgeoning crises. We had imperfect information about the scope of these addiction tragedies at some critical junctures. And even after we gained a firmer understanding of the tragic breadth and impact of these epidemics, some of our policy remedies took time to implement and have their full effect. To address big public health crises, you need to be willing to act aggressively, especially in the face of an expanding public health threat, and sometimes act on the basis of imperfect information. You need to act decisively to get ahead of a problem. But you also need to be willing to admit that the impact of policy actions can be slow and sometimes limited. You need to build those challenges into how you measure problems and how you try to address them. I was sad to leave FDA a year ago, but proud of what my colleagues and I did together during our time at the agency. I'm not too sure that there's many things I'd want to have done differently. We took on hard issues, we pursued meaningful policies. We flexed our regulatory muscle with strength when consumers were put at risk, and we stayed true to the science-based decision-making that carefully guides the FDA's work. That privilege to think big and small in medicine, to focus on the individual needs and the health of your patients, but also play a role in shaping the broader public health agenda, that'll be put to the test in the coming months and years. Our healthcare system's strained right now. These are hard times for all of us, and there'll be hard times on you. Things will never be quite the same after this pandemic. We'll have to do things differently going forward. But you're all going to be a part of shaping that future and having a really meaningful impact on the direction that we go. Infectious disease and public health is now very clearly a matter of strategic security in this country, and our roles as physicians will take on a new dimension going forward. Your medical training gives you a firm foundation to make important contributions in these issues. It's been a wonderful 20 years since I was in the position that you're in today. You're entering the profession at a truly historic moment, a very hard moment, but one of great meaning, one of tragedy and change, but one that's going to deepen your obligations and magnify the impact that you'll all have. I'm proud of the foundation of service that my medical training inspired me with to achieve my public health goals. You'll all be sharing in those same traditions, and I know you'll go on to do many great things. Congratulations today, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you.
We will be sure to thank Dr. Gottlieb on behalf of the medical school and the class of 2020 for those wonderful remarks. It is now my honor to introduce Regent Richard Beeson, who will confer the degrees. Regent Beeson, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Minnesota Medical School, Twin Cities and Duluth campuses, I am honored to present to you the graduating class of 2020, attesting thereby to their competence and indicating that they have successfully fulfilled all the requirements established by this faculty and the laws of the state of Minnesota to be granted the degree Doctor of Medicine.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenberg. Shall we make this official? I think so. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by authority of the Board of Regents of the University of Minnesota, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Medicine for which you have qualified. Congratulations and good speed.
Thank you, Regent Beeson. We will now begin the presentation of the class of 2020. This year, as part of our first virtual graduation, students were given the option to submit a video or photo message to their classmates, family, friends, and mentors. In addition to the student names, we have interspersed well wishes from members of the medical school administration and the students' chosen greeters for this ceremony. We hope you enjoy.
Congratulations, class of 2020. It has been such a privilege to be a part of your journey here at the University of Minnesota. Thank you for all that you've done all the contributions you've made. I'm wishing you all the best. Take good care of yourselves. Congrats again.
Hello, everyone. Let me begin by saying that this is not a board exam video. Thank goodness. Hey, congratulations on this amazing accomplishment and milestone in your career. Your new designation as doctor has been richly earned and deserved. I also want to thank you for the honor of being able to serve as a greeter for your commencement. It has always been a privilege to me to be able to work with you and to support your efforts, and so this means a lot to me. I hope someday I can express this sentiment to you in person, but for right now, let me just say take care and congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020, on finishing medical school. We're so very proud of your accomplishments and are excited about what lies ahead for you in the future. In the words of Amy Poehler during a 2011 Harvard commencement, but relevant to this time of all things COVID, even though as a class you are smart, you are still allowed to say, I don't know. Just because you're in high demand, you are still allowed to say, let me get back to you. This will come in handy when your parents ask when you plan to move out of their basement and you answer, I don't know, let me get back to you. Best of luck to you on your journey. Stay well, keep in touch. Bye-bye.
Jasmine Abraham. Maggie Abraham. Lanre Adekola. Alawiya Ahmed. Samina Ahmed Bueller. Femi Akinagbi.
You, Mommy, Rick, Barbara, Lucas, Tara, Elizabeth, Jean, Arnie, Gail, Clyde, Agentra, Mark, Wynn, my whole Common Ground Meditation family, my mentors, administrators here in the med school. I am because we are.
Loretta Alote. Jim Alsop. Gabriel Jerome Ammon. Cyril Apiage.
Hey guys, congratulations. Wish we could all spend this moment together. But I'm still super proud of all of us and excited for all our futures. We made it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
Mohammed Artan. Ashwini Arumugam. Corey Babcock. Alex Basara. Benita Beam. David Bergstrand. Michael Barris. Michael Berryman. Taylor Boxtruck. Kylie Linden Basut. Jeffrey Bowers. Ada Lorraine Brighton Bucher. Danielle Brewer. Anna Joy Brakowski. Maria Bryan. Daniel Bullard. Mackenzie Faith Butler. Michael Cahill. McKenna Ray Campbell Potter.
Hey 2020, I wanted to share a quote from one of my favorite books, The Alchemist. It's one that I often read during transitions in my own life. When we love, we always strive to become better than we are. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too.
Jessica Flores Casey. John Cassidy. Paul Chatterton. Ian Chung. Margaret Chute. Tina Cifuentes. David Klein. Megan Conlon. Danielle Coquette. Christopher Creedon. Catherine Christ. Megan Crow. Clifford Michael Sismar. Tony Quee. Ryan Cullen. Danica Cutchell. Cody Dale. Samuel Daly. Nick Delorier. Kayla Derumpal. Anya Dimitrenko-Cressy. Jack Dengis. Melvin Donaldson. Ryan Dunkley. Olivia Eckhoff. Mariah Eggbrotten. Matthew Eidenschink. Brianna Engelson. Emily Ewan. Alexa Flagstad. Margaret Flint. David Fowler. Bradley Fredrickson. Natasha Gallett. Jamie Nicole Gamache. Jeffrey Gonzalez. Jacob Goodwin. Tiffany Gorman. Michelle Graffelman. Rachel Grundman. Alexis Gunderson. Rhiannon Guzman. Jamie Hammer. Alec Haug. Kristen Heslep. Brianna House. Andrew Hughes. Adam Jackson. Ellie Jacobson. Christopher Jenin. Alicia Johnson. David Jonathan. Rebecca Kimian. Austin Kleiss. Benjamin Kreitz. Amelia Krug. Meredith Teresa Lathrop. Kyle Law. Jamie Lawaji. Elizabeth Liskey. Evan Lister. Yang Liu. Luke Logering.
And the MD goes to Luke. This is Luke's third nomination and first win.
Oh gosh, wow. I'd like to thank the Academy, the medical school, for this award. I took too long with this joke to thank anybody else, but you know who you are. Okay, bye-bye. It's this way.
Brianna Lorenzen. Evan Laukusa. Robert Lowe. Emily Lund. Dylan Lundstrom. Nicholas Maleska. Julia Ann Mansanger Komatsu. Lisa Marie Marshall. Allison Marie Martin. Jimmy McCluskey. Mickey McDonough. Daniel McGuire. Michael Mahalik. Brett Milbrandt. Patrick John Miles. Zachary Miller. Mahad Minhas. Danny Mohama. Amaya Naravane. Nathan Nelson. Seth Daniel Nelson.
Congratulations on getting here, and I hope you're all staying well. First of all, I have to give God all the glory, and thanks especially to my wife, Sarah, for always being there, as well as the rest of my family and my advisors, Nursina Kokhtar, Abby Holmgren, and Amy Greminger, for always helping me navigate the road through med school.
Lexi Neibauer. Lauren Nichols. McKenna Eistrich. Bandele Okulana. Tony Okuyemi. Olivia Ondigi. Elizabeth Orr. Emma Ostby. Eliza Pellrine. Matthew John Peterson. Cole Puffer. Thomas Ryman. Samuel Renier. Carly Ritchie. Dana Roach. Stephen Nicholas Roberts. Elizabeth Roski. Catherine Rogers. Karina Romo. Shomit Sunny Roy. Rachel Sauls. Anna Samuel. David Sandness. Alyssa Schick. Jamie Schlarbaum. Thomas Schmidt. Abigail Schnaith. Jillian Schomer. Stephen Thomas Schul. Ryan Schultz. Kirsten Schwans. Benjamin Sieversyk. Teresa Sexton. Deep Shukla. Emily Sarakowski. Kelsey Simmons. Tanea Siva. Joseph Slaughter. Logan Smestad. Brandon Smith. Casey Smith. Leah Soderberg. Mary Agnes Soderland. Sean Staffkey. Lila Watson Steinberg. Samuel Stokes Serkvenik. Adam Stroschein. Mira Suri. Gaurav Suryawanshi. Brian Swice. Erica Swenson. Jennifer Tarpening. Gregory Thompson. Perry Thompson. Whitney Thompson. Colton Thorson. Morgan Thornton. Maria Andrea Francesca Tinsay. Mackenzie Tolan. Nicole Tom. Tu Tran. Megan Twite. Eric Tui. Kim Uy. Kent Van Noot. Jared Virier. Mayank Verma. Nyat Vol. Mark Volker. Rachel Weigel. Anna Kathleen Weitz. Nicole Westfall. Corey Wheelock. Claire Williams, Lily Wood, Emma Worthington, Michael Wright, Nancy Yang, Amrita Yalamili, Alicia Youssef, Emmanuel Zode, Eugene Zhang, Jennifer Zick,
Hearty congratulations to all of you, the graduating class of 2020 University of Minnesota Medical School. These are very challenging times, but you have received a wonderful education from one of the top medical schools in the world. I know that you're equipped to rise to the challenge to care for your patients with integrity, compassion, and dedication. Once again, congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you. Tremendous achievement to have accomplished these past 4 years or more of training. So proud and thankful to have you part of the community and to be able to congratulate you today. Thank you to each and every one of you for all the contributions you have made during your time at the medical school, and thank you in advance for all the contributions you'll make to the broader community. We are so proud, so thankful to have each and every one of you to have been part of the community and to be graduating today. Congratulations, all the best.
I'm happy to get the chance to say congratulations on a job well done. I hope during this time you get a chance to stop and be still and reflect on all of your accomplishments that have brought you to this point in time, for they are many, and I'm very proud of you. And then I hope you take a deep breath and take that next step forward on what I hope is a long and fulfilling journey for everyone. I can't wait to see and hear about all the great accomplishments that are yet to come for you guys. Please keep in touch, and until next time, take care.
To the class of 2020, congratulations and best wishes. You are awesome and you've done so many amazing things while here in medical school. A little bit of advice for you as you enter residency is to find your community, find your support group, follow your purpose and vision, and be brave. Continue to do the things that got you here and will help you to be a great physician. The real voyage to discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but seeing with new eyes. And I know you'll be seeing with new eyes as you go forward. Keep in touch, and we look forward to seeing you back in Minnesota, either this July or in future years.
Hello, 2020 graduates. Greetings from the shores of Lake Superior, and no, this is not a virtual background. I'm humbled and honored to be the Duluth faculty you've chosen to serve as a greeter for your graduation. I only regret that I can't deliver the handshakes and hugs and congratulations in person. I know that I speak for all of us on the Duluth campus in saying that we are so very proud, not only for all you've accomplished through these past years, but for who you are. Intelligent, compassionate, and moral compass-led individuals who are harnessing your own talents and stories to serve others. We truly look forward to watching your futures unfold and enjoy the adventures ahead. Congratulations from all of us here in Duluth.
Well, hello there. It's me. It turns out that even when laptops fail and even when desktops fail, there's still iPhone. I just want to say congratulations to all of you. And I will ask for Dr. Rosenberg to give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. All right. So I will start by saying I'm back. I'm so sorry that I had to peel away like that, but had some serious technical problems. And I did everything I could because I would not miss this opportunity with the class of 2020. Congratulations. We are so excited for you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Cyril Apiaget, who will give the class response. Go for it, Cyril.
Thanks, Bob, and awesome on the name pronunciation. Hello, everyone. As Bob said, I had the privilege of being the class president for this graduating class, and I'll get right to this because everyone knows I can be long-winded. So, congratulations, University of Minnesota Medical School Class of 2020, or as I know you better, friends, peers, colleagues, and now fellow doctors. So from one physician to another, I'd like to congratulate you for your achievements. These were the best of times, and if I'm being honest, these were at times the worst of times. This was hard. It required sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice, including but not limited to finances, time, and relationships. We were tested intellectually, professionally, and emotionally. I can remind you about that first finals week when we had a final every single day for 5 days straight. I can remind you about how our anatomy final required a flashlight normally reserved for spelunking helmets. I could even remind you about those 3 exams colloquially referred to as steps, but often felt more akin to falls, hurdles, and potholes. There are a myriad of other things I could remind you of, but quite frankly, I know how hard some of you are trying to forget, so I'll not remind you. But do you remember what it was like to be a third-year medical student? The excitement and joy of actually getting to participate in healing people. The feelings of wonder that came with these new experiences. Going home and thinking about how patients, people in need, trusted you and confided in you. And on top of that, you somehow managed to juggle remembering where the bathrooms were every 4 to 8 weeks as you switched clinical sites. One of you told me a story about your interaction on a surgery rotation. You were in the operating room, and apparently the surgeon was impressed with your performance that day. During the case, they handed you an instrument and told you to put it down anywhere. So you did. I do not remember where you placed the instrument, but what I do remember is that the surgeon looked at you and after a moment of silence said, "Anywhere but there." And that pretty much sums up the other half of being a third-year medical student. There were times when we did not succeed, and there were times when we were not always at our best. But as people who hold themselves to incredibly high standards, I would like to remind you, because it is so easy for all of us to forget, about all the times you did succeed. You, of course, succeeded at all of those arduous finals exams, licensing exams, and practical exams. And of course, you navigated through the hidden curriculums, learning new skills and how to become an effective member of a team. You traveled the nation and had more job interviews in the span of a few months than many people will have in their lifetimes. Yet somehow, you still managed to support your fellow classmates, friends, and family in their times of need. There are countless acts of selfless good represented by this graduation class. These past few months have been difficult. We were not able to celebrate matching or this graduation ceremony in the way we wished. These are once-in-a-lifetime events, and losing them is painful. I know we'd all envisioned what the day would be like. The hugs, the tears, the in-person congratulations, the nervous excitement in a room of 200 people who were about to complete this journey with you. Half the reason I wanted to go to medical school was so I could wear one of those green graduation robes. As a muggle, this is as close as I was going to come to a robe from Hogwarts. And yes, this has been a trying time for the country and the world. The range of emotions in the population, from indifference to disdain to terror, has pushed us to be better educators or volunteer in whatever ways we can. We have seen staunch, reliable physicians who have been under-equipped and tested to the extreme. I have seen physicians that I idolize scared for their health and the health of their families. It has made many of us wonder what changes in the medical profession we will be inheriting, good or bad. Yet we have seen these same physicians rally to not just the needs of the country, but also to the needs of their medical family. These heroes are in turn supported by their loved ones, and that is inspiring. But this is not just a moment about graduating medical school or the present crisis. This is a day about our futures, the decades of medical care that we have earned the right to practice, the thousands of patients we will heal, support, counsel, and or comfort as they depart this life. Frankly, this current pandemic and future pandemics are not the only crises the medical profession is or will be facing. There are many chronic policy and structural issues that we will encounter in our careers and endeavor to improve. I feel optimistic about these problems, knowing that the next generation of physicians who will be tackling these issues are represented in all of you. I knew that coming to medical school, I was going to encounter some rather spectacular individuals, but that was not enough to prepare me for all of you. All of you are brilliant, and I would not even know where to begin if I wanted to give examples of your intelligence. But what I find truly impressive is your aptitude for compassion. I genuinely mean it when I say that you inspire me. What excites me even more is knowing that you will inspire and be a model for the next generation of physicians. In fact, you've already started. The time you spent educating and being kind to patients and their families these past few years has probably inspired someone to pursue healthcare. Sure, today is the day that you are officially recognized as a medical doctor, but you have been carrying yourselves in a manner worthy of a physician before today, and that is why you earned the title of medical doctor. We should also acknowledge that this is a sad day for our administration. After all, they are graduating the greatest University of Minnesota medical school class that there ever was, and in my opinion, never will be. I would like to thank Mary Tate, Mark Rosenberg, Bob Englander, Ann Pereira, Robin Michaels, Michael Kim, Kaz Nelson, Rachel Rudine, Scott Slattery, Scott Davenport, and all the other members of administration who listened to us, advocated for us, supported us, and yes, disagreed with us at times. Things may not always have been done perfectly, but I know they tried their best and will continue to do so, and will continue to improve. Now I know, and so do all of you after listening to this, that I can be long-winded, but I have one last thing to ask. My last act as your class president is to ask that you fill out a survey about your experience today. No, I'm joking. I sincerely hope to never ask any of you to fill out another survey again. You deserve that from me. But seriously, the last thing I would like to ask is that as you are starting residency, you give yourself the opportunity to not get it right away. Be kind to yourselves. The rest will surely come with your hard work and dedication. Congratulations, University of Minnesota Medical School Class of 2020. I wish all of you well on your next stage of life. It has been a pleasure, and it will be an enduring honor to say that I did this journey with all of you.
Thank you so much, Cyril. That was fantastic. Or I should say, Dr. Piaget.
Thank you.
For your thoughtful and inspiring words. I love the notion that you had of giving oneself the opportunity to not get it right away. Apparently, that was a good lesson for me to learn at the beginning of this graduation ceremony. It will be one of the important messages that I take away from this day. So each year, our students communally recite their oath. The honor of leading that oath reading goes to a faculty member from the School of Medicine. This year, we invite Dr. Ann Pereira, our Assistant Dean for Curriculum. Dr. Pereira has been a superb leader in education both locally and nationally. She will be moving on to pursue a dream of becoming a palliative care physician, and we will truly miss her dearly. We are comforted, though, by the fact that she will be doing her fellowship right here at the University of Minnesota. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Pereira for the honor of leading our new physicians in the reading of their oath.
Thank you, Bob. Each year, the class votes to determine the oath they take at their commencement ceremony. This year, the class chose to recite an oath that combines the incoming white coat ceremony oath from the Duluth and Twin City campuses 4 years ago. I am deeply honored to have the opportunity to lead the class through this oath, as I have been deeply honored and so grateful to have been in this community with all of you these past 4 or more years. And just as Cyril has just said, Dr. Apayege has just said, you inspire me. You each, you all inspire me. On a typical graduation, we would ask the graduates, our new physicians, to stand along with any physicians in the audience or on stage as you are able to recite the oath. I believe this oath deserves the respect of my standing and have done so. Please join me if you wish and are able to stand as we recite the oath. The oath can be found on page 6 of the program, just preceding the graduates' photos. Please join me in reciting it. With gratitude for the privilege and opportunity to enter the medical profession, we hereby affirm in the presence of our families, friends, and community to fulfill to the best of our ability and judgment this oath. With compassion, I will uphold my patient's integrity and attend to each patient as an individual, fostering an environment of mutual respect. I will strive to treat each person holistically, tending to their mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. I will appreciate the rich diversity found in humanity and practice medicine that is both culturally sensitive and preserves the dignity of each individual. I will contend to serve my patients beyond the limits of my own implicit biases. I will value both the art and science of medicine. I will advocate on behalf of my patients and community to improve access to quality healthcare and to further empower my patients to engage in their care. I will endeavor to be personable and maintain open lines of communication so that I may best serve the needs of my patients and community. I promise to respect and care for myself and my fellow physicians. I will strive to live a balanced life and to enjoy my journey in medicine. Through the strength of collaboration and a commitment to lifelong learning, I will work to improve coordination of care and delivery of affordable health care while searching for innovative means to care for the underserved. As an individual, I will reflect upon my own limitations and have the humility to admit when my abilities are not enough. I will have the courage to be decisive in the face of uncertainty and the grace to bear the responsibility of my decisions. I will take this trusted position in society seriously. I accept the gravity of this duty and swear to uphold the oath taken here today. With this oath, I willingly assume the rewards and responsibilities of a physician. Congratulations to you all. We couldn't be more proud and delighted with our 2020 graduates. We wish you the very best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pereira. As we come to the conclusion of this program, I wanted to publicly note our gratitude for the people who made this event possible. First, a deep sense of gratitude to Rachel Rudin, who has worked tirelessly to make this virtual ceremony a reality. I'd also like to thank the amazing team from Student Affairs who has helped her, and everyone who works in undergraduate medical education for making this day, and indeed the past several years, possible for all of you. Additionally, special thanks this year to Whitney Delaney and Angel Mendez from the communications team, who were instrumental in transforming this event into a virtual celebration. And now, having conferred the degrees from the Board of Regents and having shared in the communal reading of the oath, as our time together draws to a close, I wanted to leave you with a poem that captures the Carpe Diem spirit you will need to succeed in the next critical phase of your journey to becoming master physicians. It's a poem I first read to you to conclude your white coat ceremony, and I hope you will still feel its relevance today as you start to head your separate ways to begin the next phase of your journey. The poem is by William Stafford, and it is called You Reading This, Be Ready. Starting here, what do you want to remember? How the sunlight creeps along a shining floor? What scent of wood hovers? What softened sound from outside fills the air? Will you ever bring a better gift for the world than the breathing respect that you carry wherever you go right now? Are you waiting for time to show you some better thoughts? When you turn around, starting here, lift this new glimpse that you found. Carry into evening all that you want from this day. This interval you spent reading or hearing this, keep it for life. What can anyone give you greater than now, starting here, right in this room, when you turn around? So, class of 2020, you are now physicians, a title that you've worked very hard for and deserve. Stay healthy, stay well, and stay in touch. From all of us in the medical school, our love and heartiest congratulations. This concludes our commencement program. Thanks to all of you for joining and making this a memorable event.